Here we are, Day 3, Session 2 at the 2023 Australian Open, proudly brought to you by Apia, who is proud to support the event volunteers and officials. Val Febo here with you for the clash between Victorian Frank Lim and Queenslander Stephen Sale. Looking forward to this one. Stephen with a 20-all draw with Corey Hicks. We had his brother on the telecast the other day, 20-all draw, and Frank won 21-15 over Michael Daly. So looking forward to this one. A lot of permutations on the line, and joining me for this broadcast is Kyle Langley and Nick Hines. So both of them are back. You did so well in the first session that I thought I'd invite you back.
Oh, thank you, Val. Yeah, we're back here at Broadbeach, and the showers have passed. Looks a bit better now, Nick.
Yes, no, it is looking better. Very nice of you to have me back. I was the explicit cause of the issues earlier, we believe. I was the cause of the rain.
You were the cause of Ben Ike's loss as well. You said the first player to score 3 ends in a row would go on and win the match, and after he did that, he lost the next 5 and lost.
Look, I did declare him, you're exactly right, but I won't be putting the kiss of death on anybody in this game just yet. Certainly, given their results earlier, it's going to be tough to see who's going to be the better player here and who might even get out of the section, because everybody's still a chance, you'd think.
Well, exactly right, considering there was a draw in the opening match. So we had, I think it was timed out because it was 20 apiece, so they couldn't get that last end done. There's John Roberts' horn. It's gone off, and we are good to go in this contest. The blue paddles will be for Stephen Sale. The red paddles will be for Frank Lim. The light blue bowls of the Queenslander, and the navy blue purple of the Victorian, who hails from Mooralbark in Melbourne's southeast. One of the worst roundabout intersections in this entire state. It is hell to drive through. As
someone who comes from Canberra, I think there'd be an argument that I could probably give this Mooralbark intersection a run with any of the thousands of roundabouts in Canberra. But
there's 3 in a row. It is. I'll show you later, but it's quite disturbing.
Just remember, Val Febo's comments are not endorsed by Bowls Australia regarding roundabouts or roadways. But Frank Lim from Mooralbark, the roundabout capital of Australia, is actually this year's club champion, men's singles.
He is.
And both seem like lovely fellas. We had a chat before the start of the game. They're very excited to be here, as are all of we, to be bringing you all the action here again. Day 3, Session 2.
I've come up with a theory about the equipment before, because it is from Victoria, the equipment, so it's a public holiday down there and in New South Wales, so the equipment didn't realise that it actually is no public holiday here today.
Oh, yeah, it was a bit late getting to the party, but we are good to go, and we've avoided the rain. It finished, well, so far, I must stress. But no, it did rain in between sessions here. It's a good start to the end from Stephen Sale, who's got one jack high and got one just past.
And the Green Staff were going to actually give these a roll between games today, but with that shower that came through, they didn't get a chance.
So the pace will be a little bit slower, but
only a couple of a second or so in it for sure.
Don't worry, still quicker than what we had at Leamington Spa at the Com Games last year. They were perilously slow greens, but geez, it was good to watch, seeing the Australians do so well.
That bowl of Ellen Ryan's will be fixed into every bowler's memory.
It'll live in my memory for a very long time, being there live. It was one of the more sensational sporting events that I've ever been at. Having the personal connection to the team as well. So that one just trundles through.
He's just dropping names now. You hear that? Yeah, that's okay. I remember the days, yeah.
Don't worry, in 10 years I'm going to be sitting here or talking and saying, I did this with Kyle Langley and Nick Hind one day.
And look at them now. They're working at the checkouts.
Might well be the other way around, Val. We'll be sitting here.
Yeah, exactly.
As players, thinking of that time we were here with Val Febo, now the head caller for tennis, AFL, multi-sport superstars. We watch Frank Lim.
You're too kind. That's a good bowl, considering the first two were... The first one wasn't bad, but the second one, he had the line right. First one, he had the weight right, and now he's combined them both together.
Stephen just staying his forehand here. He looking to get a little bit of a run. He's gone backhand.
Well, I'm not against this. A few to crash into, and he can trail the jack.
It's coming through. and he's crashed into Frank Lim's first bowl, so no harm done for the Victorians. So he's got a chance here to get a second in.
Yeah, the way he was setting up, he looked like he was playing forehand from our angle. And here's Frank on the backhand.
So I think he's got good weight here. Just coming around.
Just trying to reach here, just on the outside edge, unfortunately. Wants to leave that alone.
No harm done. Frank Lim on the board first in this second match of the group. And if we look at the table for section 215, I'll get that up. I had Chris Wallace's table up, and unfortunately for those who were listening yesterday, he fell to Noel Sean Dingle of Hamilton in Queensland. So, Frank Lim on top, the only winner so far in this group, because Stephen Sale and Corey Hicks both drew 20 apiece. Michael Daly sitting in fourth from the Dandenong Club. So a couple of Victorians in this group, a Queenslander and a South Australian. Corey Hicks, of course, the brother of Charlie, who we had on the broadcast the other day.
And that's considering you've been timed out, it's the only opportunity we can actually have a draw here at the AO.
Yeah, it's very rare that we get them.
Clive and I did call one on the stream last year, Val. It was a very, very slow game. It didn't even get to 20 all. I think it would end up being 17-16.
Yeah, I think was that Frank Garden?
It was.
From Victoria, yeah. He got through his group on, I think it was yesterday or day one. So he'll be featuring in the knockout stages again, the man from Brunswick. I remember him because of the hat that he was wearing. Loves his fedoras.
There's a few stylish boys and girls here at the Australian Open today. We were admiring some of the beautiful club uniforms. Red Hill has been one of my favourites from Brisbane. They haven't been featured on the stream, but there's been a few Red Hill shirts prominently displayed here. So, Stephen taking the early ascendancy in this second end. 21 up, of course, the format, first to 21. Just a 2-hour 15 time limit that you have to get there in, which Stephen Sale did not. Wasn't too bad, though. Our first game was over in just over an hour, and it did give us an opportunity to go around some of the rinks and see some of the action with the players who are featuring here at Broadbeach today. 4 greens in play. They're all chock-a-block. And the bar in the clubhouse is filling up slowly as well. Everybody getting down on a Monday. Broadbeach Bowls Club, very similar effort there from Stephen Sale. Stephen just holding the 2 there. Looks like Frank is changing over to his backhand this time. He wants to sit those bowls. Yep. Great to have everybody's company from wherever you're watching around Australia, around the world. It's always nice hearing your comments and seeing your comments. And that little bit of water we had has taken the turn out of the green. Mm. We've lost the pace, so it's a little bit narrow on both sides now. Yeah, have to find the line again. But the good thing is, so far today, Kyle, and we've seen it the first couple of days, going to this end especially, bowlers haven't been up, but it's been good. There's been a few good lengths and no one really dropping too short. Yeah, this end, heading towards the Broadbeach United Soccer Club end, as I like to call it, and I've just found out that the home of the Broadbeach United Soccer Club is called the Tank. So when the Dolphin Tank, yeah, so you come here and you play the Dolphin Tank. But it seems to be a lot harder to actually reach at this end. But both bowlers have started well. And I'll tell you what, Frank Lim is in the area, and I reckon he's done enough for shot. Yeah, so we've got a new marker now. Jamie Dixon has come out. He's on the paddles and did put one red paddle in the air there. So we've got a young fella on the scoreboard again. He's keen volunteer.
got his eye over these. Must be a young bowler.
He's from New South Wales. I think
Well
from
done.
Northmead Bowling Club. I heard his mum tell Mitch before.
Well, good effort here from Steve.
That is magnificent.
Jack.
Great bowl.
He's on the board. Stephen Sale.
Of course, Northmead is the home of one Brett Hughes. He bowled out of there this year. I think he mentioned at the Interzone he's moving clubs, but that'll be another story for another announcement. You'll see that on the 7 News when it comes up. B. Hughes changing clubs. Big news.
It is. That's a national 60 Minutes story, I think, that one.
Spotlight for sure.
Yeah. So, 1-1 after 2. Very interesting to see where this one goes. If Stephen Sale does fall in this contest, he is out and no chance of getting through. Should Frank Lim win, he puts himself in prime position to get through to the knockout stage of the 2023 Australian Open.
Yeah, draw brings in so many more permutations to the
It does.
the competition. You know, he knows already that it's win or go home, despite the draw. But even with a win, there's no guarantees that he'll get out of the section. So,
No.
Stephen Sale, the pressure's on here, but he looks to be rising to the occasion. He put in a beautiful bowl to claim shot on the last end. And he's already got one in the area.
They've found their line already, though, these two. This one's just going to drift past, but the line was excellent from Frank Lim.
A change of pace with the greens was always going to be a problem, but I think both of these gentlemen have settled in very well.
Mm.
Steve on his forehand again, just taking a little bit more grass. Line looks a lot better this time.
Certainly does. It's going to drift around, but that means he's got 2. What can Frank respond with? He's going to go on the backhand, I think.
I see the great Thomas Webb has joined us on the live stream, recently engaged to Dawn Heyman.
Yes. Congratulations to the two of you.
To both of them.
I saw the photos on Dawn's Facebook last night. I think he proposed on the beach. So nicely done to the two of you.
Oh, he's a great young man, and she's an outstanding bowler, person, individual.
Mm-hmm.
I wish them all the best.
Kyle Langley's taking offers to MC the wedding.
Really? Anyway, Simon Norton just commented. He said the green doesn't look like it's taking much grass till we have rain overnight. Well, no, we actually had rain after the first session, just at the end of the first session. So that's the reason it's slowed up and a little bit tighter.
Jim Hampton saying go Frank from Mooralbark.
Let us know how the roundabouts are in Mooralbark there, Jim, if you don't mind.
It's called I think it's called the four-way. It's shocking. And there's one in Essendon, not too far from where I live, that you have to allow trams to give way when you go through it. And it's not great, but it is so much easier than that four-way.
I'll tell you what, we're one of the only sports that you can come to the Australian Open as just a normal club player and get a game, and probably the only sport where you can hear a traffic report every time you come on from the Mooralbark roundabout. Well done, Val.
See, Jim Hampton, I get dizzy.
There you go. Thank
See,
you, Jim.
it's terrible. Jason Pinnock asking, are you enjoying the warmer weather, Mr. Hind?
I've actually got my coat on, would you believe?
Does.
We had that quick drop of rain, and it did cool things off, although warming up again, a little bit stuffy with all the hot air coming out under the Bowls Australia marquee here.
When I was on the way to the AO this year, I came up past Maclean, and I did see they actually have statues of Jason Pinnock now on the outskirts of Maclean. It's fantastic. Bronze.
That's nice.
He's a local legend in that area.
John Dixon telling me to get it right. The five-way in Mooroolbark.
No wonder it's challenging. They're starting to get...
I told you.
Is there trams involved as well? Or
No, not this one. This is just cars. But my word, it's frightening. Back to the bowls, and
well, Frank's got a chance here if he can reach down to the white and pale blue bowl.
So what's happened here? I believe this could be one to Stephen, but I would be wrong because it's 2 to Frank. Wow.
I'll mark you down. That's one against you.
So there's a reason why you're calling the 5 ways the 4 ways.
Wow. Diane Mackey watching from Scotland. Jeez, it'd be very, very early in the morning there. That be 1 a.m.? No, 3 a.m.
Well, we had our friend from Sweden before. It was 1:30 in Sweden that he was watching.
Scotland 9 hours behind.
Well, the way we're going, if we actually do a tour to the Northern Hemisphere, we won't have to pay for accommodation. We'll be put up at every house in every country.
Croatia, Brazil, Argentina, America, South Africa, Cyprus.
The ACT. Everybody's watching, Nick.
Tasmania.
You can bring your swags when you come to Canberra. Ontario, Canada. Oh, yes, please.
John and Val McKechnie. Can't forget them. So 3-1 lead to Frank Lim, despite me thinking that was 1 to Stephen Sale. It was a 2 to the Victorian, and he takes the early ascendancy here at the 2023 Australian Open second session for Apia, helping you live the good life and play bowls.
Frank just staying on his backhand here. He's just wants to try and sit this bowl of Stevens behind the jack. And that might be a case of these greens have been turning a fair bit, and as they dry out over the next couple of ends, you will find them start to move across the head if they don't pick that line.
Got Merv Ford joining us here, Nick, saying, Nick, keep Val honest up there. Lol. Merv, you are a cheeky man.
He's a very good man. We see him in the background of the BPL telecast. We see him in the background of a few things now.
I'd be keeping Merv honest, if anything else.
Now, the most important comment we need to make all day is the fact that Frank, it's a message here. Go, Frank, your grandkids are watching. So hello to Frank's grandkids watching from, we would assume, Mooroolbark.
Or close to.
Yeah.
It's from Carl Lim. Good to have your company, Carl.
Stay away from the roundabouts, kids. That's all I say.
2 currently to Stephen Sale. Frank just needs to make the correction and take a little bit more grass on his backhand. Sort of drifted into similar areas. Similar lines as well. So what has the Queenslander got from Club Helensvale? Wants to crash in. Doesn't want to go too far. Not sure if it's enough for 3. Just 2. Jamie Dixon marks there.
Nick, it looks like Stephen's bowl is actually resting on the jack here. So Frank just needs to play with that little bit of weight. He can actually spit it out to that left-hand side as we look at it. But I don't think his line's there.
He's got home well to cut things down, though, I'll suggest. It's only 1 now, but if he had a 5th bowl, he might be going a bit more aggressively at that now.
Better idea.
We could always change that. There could be a power play, 5th bowl out of the bag. And this is where Stephen needs to be careful too. He doesn't want to make contact with his aggressively, but he just wants to nestle in.
No, it's going to come underneath. I'm not sure if it's going to count. Turn back, and I think this will probably just be 1. Jamie's got that one pad already. And it is a 3-2 lead to the Victorian after 4 ends here. Stephen Sale on the board again. So they've swapped ends here, and they just continue to alternate. Going towards the Surfers Paradise end. It's been all Frank Lim. Going towards the Broadbeach United Soccer Club. It's been all Stephen Sale.
So, Nick, what can this end-for-end battle tell us to the winner? Can we pick a winner yet?
No. Look, if I'm going to put them on the line again, it could be another 20-all draw here.
There is the prediction up front, 20-all.
So we know it will not be that.
At least the viewers will get their 2.25 hours of viewing this time.
Yep.
We have had a couple of short matches. That's not our fault. The players have, some players have played magnificently and just ended things quickly.
Well, we saw in that last game, went bang, 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 4-4-3 to really run away with it.
Good start to the end here from Stephen. Trails the jack, and it starts again, kind of. Different angle for Frank Lim to be looking at. Will he go forehand? He's opted to stick with the backhand a lot so far, but forehand it is.
It's hard to pick up Frank's feet when he hits the mat because they're fairly straight down the line until he decides and then jumps across. But that's a handy effort there.
Falls out, so remains 1 to the Queenslander. What has he got? I think he's going to go around the back here. Crashes into his own.
It's up nicely here for Frank to come down on the forehand. Rest either the two light blue bowls at the back behind the jack there.
Yeah, he's just playing with draw weight here. As you can see, it is starting to turn more once the greens are drying out.
Yep. Ooh, just sneaks through.
Not going to be disappointed there, though. That's with the shot he's going to play next, that's probably a good little catcher.
He gave it a chance. And it's what you've got to do. There's certainly nothing for being short in this situation. So to get the bowl up there, and he knows that he can adjust a little bit now. A little trail on the jack would be ideal. But even if he's a little bit high, he can sit those two white and blue bowls of Stephen Sale.
Nice effort here. Perla.
Now, this makes it a bit harder. He's going to have to play a little bit more aggressively if he's going to get a shot out of this, Frank Lim.
He's got 2 bowls to come. Good to have Steve Byrne watching from Sharks and Kilda Bowling Club in Dunedin. So, Frank Lim remains on the forehand. How is this going to get down? He's given it a little bit more grass. Needs it to start working its way back. Handy effort, but it just won't get there.
Well, Kyle, do you think that blue bowl, that dark blue bowl there of Frank Lim's locked in?
I think it is. It's tough here for Stephen as to what he's going to do. He's just going to play with the draw weight down. I thought he might have tried to swing it and sit it.
He just doesn't want to give a target, though, here, because there's an opportunity for a few shots.
Where's this going to end up for Frank Lim?
Very good bowl. Very good bowl.
That's magnificent.
He's fattened up the target, but just depends on how good Frank is at his weight shot here.
Yeah, I'd be going very quick at this and likely missing, but never mind. I'd still be going quick.
He's got the back bowl.
Hasn't gone too quick, to be honest. I thought he'd be going harder at it. But let's see where it ends up. Needs to start working, and it's doing so. But is it going to end up with his other bowl? I think it is. So, a brilliant end played from Stephen Sale, and he moves ahead for the first time. I dare say that is going to be 2. That's a great head, though.
And look, if you've won that end, you're going to be happy. But for Frank, you've got to look at it and say, well, I bowled. There's probably 3 or 4 pretty good bowls there. He's just been outplayed on that by 2 of Stephen's crackers.
Certainly, and a 4-3 lead to Stephen Sale.
And look, there's no wrong shot in that situation. He didn't play it poorly, but to play a draw into that pack, he would have needed a side toucher if he was going to get shot. So it was a harder shot to play. But if he backed himself, then play what you see, play what you're confident with.
Yeah, it's exactly right. It's so many players look at shots and get confused, step onto the mat, step off the mat, then play something that needs to be weight but comes out poorly and is the wrong line. So, no, he went with what he wanted to do. He had a plan. Execution just wasn't there, but we're only 4-3 down. And
you do see it. There are bowlers who step onto the mat and teams and players, and happens at every club, where if you give somebody 2 ideas and you have a bob each way, you get a lot of nothing. You need to be clear, concise, and know in your own head what you're going to play before you step onto the mat.
And Stephen's done what he needed to do there. Picks up 2 on that end, and now he pops one just behind the jack.
Well, the first bowl's so important in singles, isn't it, Kyle? We see all the time players who can get off to that good start. They've got the pressures on your opponent straight away to get bowls in the head or to be moving things around or to change it up. And I think both these players are going to be pretty capable of doing that.
You're right, because that people say the last bowls are the most important, but really that first bowl is, because that sets up the end as to what the opposition have to play then.
How's this one tracking from Stephen? It actually looks pretty good.
He's found his line and his weight really well. Up he comes.
Just dropped a bit short, but it's going to be enough to count. Plenty of room for Frank to work with. It's probably been the closest start that we've seen throughout any of our sessions so far. This is session number 8 for us here at the Australian Open. Proudly brought to you by APIA, who are also proud to support the event volunteers and officials.
Session 8 already, Val.
It's gone quick.
There's people who've maybe had 2 or 3 sessions while they're up here, but session 8 for you, you're doing fantastically.
We're flying through. No rest for the wicked.
No sleep for them. They're here at 4 o'clock every morning, Nick, getting set up. It's amazing. They help the green staff get the green ready. They do a fantastic job.
One thing I do want to do, as Stephen just comes underneath here, is ride one of those green machines.
I don't think they trust you.
They wouldn't,
no,
but I would love to ride one, just for 5 minutes. Oh, the roller. Been informed?
I don't think...
I like green machine better.
Green machine. I don't think these are some of the best grass greens in Australia. I don't think they'd let you on them.
No. I'd start doing donuts and be a Val-shaped hole in that fence over there once they chase me away.
That was a bit unfortunate there for Frank. He's just popped Stephen's shot in. Looks like he's holding 3 now. Nick, that looked like it rolled in.
It's disappointing, but he was under grass the whole way.
Stephen's taking a good line here too.
He's found his line so well.
Oh, this is the best one of the lot. Just falls out, but pressure mounting.
It looks like 4, and Frank has to play on that backhand. He has to come around the front ones, and
there's still room to draw if he's good enough, though.
And he's shown that he has been. That may be a little bit wide, but these are coming back. I think the weight cost him, Nick. It's just run through.
This could be a quadruple.
We talk about that breakout end. This might be it.
Well, playing to 21, dropping multiples is so costly, and to go down 4 there now. That the score's 8-3 to Stephen Sale. That's a long way in a game to 21. It's now race to 13 for him, whereas 18 shots still required for Frank Lim if he's going to be winning it.
Certainly, this has been an electric 3 ends from the Queenslander. He's just gotten better and better, and He took him a couple of ends to find his line, but he's getting there and doing so in his home state. The Australian Open, proudly supported by Major Events Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland. Great to have their collaboration in putting this show on, the world's biggest festival of bowls. You can come to the Gold Coast for a fortnight. Great things to do, great food, theme parks. There's a marquee here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. You can get kitted out in Australian Open merch. You can get right at home advice, and, well, Stephen Sale is looking right at home here.
That's a great starter. Now, can we mention Lucas?
Yeah, he's messaged us here. Go the Bombers. Sorry, I meant the Vicks. He's a very happy man.
Lucas came up to me during the break and said hello. He's working his little heart out in there.
He was busted sleeping yesterday by Chris Wallace. He wasn't. He was on his phone, but he shouldn't be on the phone while he's watching. While he's out working.
But he was watching us. That was the main thing I hear.
Patrick Cashin. Now, I didn't want to make this pun. I've been very careful not to do it. But getting ready to sail away to victory is Stephen.
He's going out on a limb to say that.
I'll
just turn myself off now.
Yep, you're done. Get out.
And I thought the dad jokes were from Hollywood only.
No, very good puns by you, Nick. We know you love a good pun. So, the pressure by Stephen Sale is increasing, and Frank Lim really has a lot to do to get out of this because his opponent has found his line and his range. Needs to find a win next because he had a draw in the opening match against Corey Hicks.
Paul Butler would like us to be a little bit more frank.
Oh,
We're getting there.
Lucas, calm down, Val. I'm not sleeping.
He's working with his eyes closed.
It's not 2 o'clock yet, Lucas. That's your nap time, isn't it?
I saw him out. I think I'm across the road at the casino as well. I thought I saw him leaving the casino about 4 a.m, Nick, like young Lucas.
You know a lot about what goes on at 4 a.m. Between Val being here, Lucas leaving the casino, I don't know what you're doing at 4 o'clock in the morning to know about all these things.
I don't sleep. That's my problem.
Oh, this one now really vital for Frank Lim.
He's got to be a little bit careful too, because that last bowl of Stephen Sale's going to be in his eye. He can get underneath it and get down to the current shot bowl, but if he's out a little bit wide, there is a chance of chipping in that white and blue bowl.
For a second, could be 2. I'm not sure. I haven't seen what the mark has indicated. However,
he's going to get a rub here. There it is.
He got the rub.
Yep. It just shows how important that second shot is, Nick. If you're sitting, you've got your opponent sitting on the jack. You need to really just get your second shot to make it harder for him to make a multiple. But he's got the shot.
Well, like you said, that first bowl is so important and it sets up the end. But look, Frank Lim, he's obviously got some capability because he played that good line, good weight, and a good result.
It's funny. I got a pretty horrendous draw in the state singles.
hold on 1 second, Kyle,
great
because
shot.
Stephen Sale has said anything you can do, I can do better. From
Great
1 down
bowl.
to 2 up.
Great bowl.
Sorry, Kyle. Continue.
I'll come back to that story later in a minute after we see what Frank can do here.
Yeah. He's just been on the money the entire time here, has Stephen Sale. What can Frank Lim do?
It's motoring.
It is.
Is it going to pull up? Pulls up, he might get shot here.
I don't think that's pulled up in time. I think this could be, it's definitely one to the Queenslander.
I'm not as confident as you, Val. Looking off the monitor, it could be, but then
This angle's a little bit different. The angle you're seeing now it might be a measure on that one.
No, he's given up the mat. And 2.
2, there you go.
So he's left Frank Lim with a wet sail. I've tried it.
Well played.
Didn't fail. I think that failed.
Where I was heading with that conversation
Yeah.
before, I got a pretty horrible draw, and I drew Aaron Appleby in the first round of our state singles. And Aaron's a very accomplished player, and I'm just a mug. But one of the guys the club's had a go. He said, "You'll get beaten 21-0," and I said, "You know what? If that happens, if it goes 21 ends, I'll be happy. And that was why I went out with that focus, was to just draw second shot every time. So it's one of those things that the key is if you can just get in the head,
Yep.
the game will last longer, and you can outplay someone, or you can outthink someone.
Exactly. Well, drawing first shot is generally where you're supposed to go.
Stay in the contest. You've got to stay in the contest. That's the key.
And that's exactly what we saw. I think that was it the first game yesterday between Robert Thwaite and Luke Gleeson. Now, Bob was down. It was only 6-4 after 8 ends, but then he went 1-2, 1-2-2, 1-1-1, 1-2-1 for the rest of the. That didn't drop an end, but Luke Gleeson constantly had one in there to not go down without a fight.
Yeah, and I've said this in my coaching and speaking to players. If you are playing against people who are above your pay grade, shall we say, keep them out there as long as you can. Give yourself every chance to learn. Give yourself every chance to be out there and be involved in the game. Because if you come off after you've been belted, that's no good. But if you can say that you've given yourself a chance, you've been in every end, you put bowls near the mark. Doesn't matter what the result is, but you can be happy with your performance. You can be satisfied with your performance.
That's exactly right. This looks like a great line here from Stephen again. Is he up? He's just going to fall short on that one.
So I think there was a little mix-up there with the marking. It was only 1 at the end of the last end. Well, it's 9-3, not 10-3.
There was the 2 paddles up, I think, but but
It might have been a previous end as well. Not sure, but it is 9-3. Frank Lim gets in there, needs it to stop.
Yeah, well done, Frank. That's exactly what he has to keep doing, just plugging away, keep putting something in there. Like Stephen's got 2 bowls here at the front there that he can either draw around them or make contact and flip them over. He's sitting in it. Even though he's 1 down, he's in a very good position here.
He's 2 down, Jamie.
2 down.
Mentioned. And I looked over at the right time. Jamie Dixon, our marker, having 2 in the air. Don't know if we can trust him, though, after.
He's looking to make some contact here or get around it. He's going to sneak through and draw shot. There he is.
Fell out, but that'll do. 1 blue. And he has had some sort of a game. The last 4 ends have been magnificent.
This is where Frank needs to be careful, because these 2 front bowls of Stephen could get a little bit of love here and push them forward.
Getting off his own here if he's lucky. Ooh.
You couldn't find that gap if you tried.
Now, what's the plan here, Nick? Like, let's say Stephen's holding one. Frank, what would you have done? Would you have come down, had a look at the head, had a bit of a think?
Well, we mentioned this in the last game. We saw it started out being a very even contest, and Benny Ike, then he lost a few ends on the spin. He didn't do anything to change the tempo of the game. He didn't do anything to change the length. I mean, he didn't win a mat, but there's other things you can do which change the tempo of the game.
That's a brilliant bowl.
Yeah.
Stephen Sale.
He's playing very well.
It's a mind game as well as a skill game a lot of the time.
What do we reckon here? He's going to go on the backhand. If he can trail the jack, there's an opportunity to get 2.
He has to be very careful of that weight, though.
Yep. Well, he's gone with controlled weight, but I think this is going to come underneath. He does not want to crash into Stephen Sale's bowl. He might rub his own. Well, he's trimmed the count.
Looks like it'll be 1 to Stephen.
Just go survey the head. So, Jim, that the comments and the closed captions are on your end. There should be 3 dots or a little speech bubble, or 3 dots in the bottom right or top right, depending on what device you're watching on, and you can turn them off. That's 1 to Stephen Sale. Margin stands at 7, 10 to 3.
I see. Is that our Pete Williams listening? Has just given some advice?
No, I don't think it is.
There you go. A. Pete Williams is helping us out with advice on how to get rid of those closed captions.
Nice community here at on the Ringside Live viewership. Everyone looks out for one another, except those scammers that try and implement themselves on the broadcast, but we all know not to click those links if they come up.
Scammers and traffic reporters from the roundabouts in Mooroolbark.
So, opportunity for Frank Lim to assert himself on this end. It's been 5 on the bounce to the Queenslander Stephen Sale. And I reckon he's done enough here to secure a shot. Forehand for Stephen.
He's on a good line. All depending on his pace now.
It's getting back. Will it crash into his own?
A good memory bowl.
His line has been exquisite throughout this contest. Took him a couple of ends to really find it. Frank needs to try and do the same now.
If you can sit these bowls at the back, it's a great effort. You've got to hold on.
He's gonna... Oh, he's just gone past. Wasn't far away. Eddie King watching from Port Macquarie. Great to have your company. I hope you're enjoying all the action here at the 2023 Australian Open. For APIA, who are proud to support this event, its volunteers and officials.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Nick, the line here, this could be a little trail back to these two at the back. He's definitely going to draw the third. But he's sitting in a very good position here, Stephen.
It is only one. I just had a look over. Jamie's only indicating it's one shot there. So
our angle's not good, people.
That front bowl of Frank Lim is second shot. He's flipped over to the forehand now.
And the danger being here, he does not want to trail this.
Certainly not. I think he might just crash into Stephen's bowl. We'll find the gap. How did he not touch one through there?
It's definitely only one now. We know that.
But a trail here. Or a little squeeze of the jack.
He's only got to put his nose on it. He can make 4 here, so this would be a big bowl.
Taking a slightly wider line. Will it come back?
He's taken the weight off, though. Oh, it's coming. It is coming. Done. It's just not going to get there, but enough for second.
What are you thinking, Nick?
Well, you've got to be up at this stage. I can't see both of his bowls on the rider screen at 2 o'clock. They're going, so I think you've got to be up. Give yourself a chance, even if you're just playing through the white and blue of Stephen Sale. But he needs the mat back here, Frank Lim.
A little bit more intent as his line.
Frank Lim. I think he's good here. He looks good.
Oh, well played.
That is a sensational bowl from the Victorian, and he's finally back on the board. That's exactly what he needed to do. Called beautifully by Nick Hind.
Now, Nick, Stephen's been playing 3/4 plus. What's Frank got to do here?
You'd have to change up. There's no way that playing social length all day. You know, we've seen that he's won 3 ends in 9. You know, you're not going to win the game by winning a third of the ends. You've got to do something different, and whether that means a shorter jack, long mat.
I mean, we might be looking at shorter jack here. He's brought the mat up a couple of metres, but yeah, it's a slight change.
Got Jake McHutchison asking if there's another game on today. There certainly is. At about 2:30 in the afternoon, it'll be. And that will be between Steve Eaton from South Australia and Joe Franzi of Queensland. That's 2:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
And a quicker load of Bede Hughes down there on the Central Coast. Said, great shot to Frank.
Joe's actually from Broadbeach here, bowling at his home club.
And good start from Frank. That's what he needed to do, Nick. He needed to put the kitty in a place he wanted and put one on it, put the pressure back on Stephen.
And look, it's we talk about the skills of singles. Jack rolling is so important as a skill and underappreciated skill, because these players, you need to be able to control the length that you're playing and play the length that your opposition doesn't want you to play. Stevens made a pretty fair reply.
Nice response, yeah.
I had the privilege of marking an indoor singles final last year, and the player from Merimbula lost the first set, won the jack, and then he got the jack back, and he went tee to tee for the rest of the game. Didn't lose a jack into the ditch, and it was full length for the rest of the game, and he went on to win it. Greg Mallard, it was a really impressive display of an underappreciated skill.
Well, it's not a bad bowl there from Frank. He's just behind the head. He leaves that option open there for the forehand to trail or sit Stephen's bowl. What's Stephen going to do here? He's well and truly up, 10-4, so he's probably just thinking, is he backhand again or is he changing over?
He flipped over, and look, there's an argument both ways here. But if you can get around and sit with this second shot here, or move the jack first, be the first one to change it up.
Hasn't hurt. Still one to Stephen. I think Frank should just follow him down on the forehand here. You can get that. If you can sit Stephen's bowl, move it out, or just a little touch on the jack, he can make two or force it through to himself. Just draw weight. The line looks good here.
Does.
Is he going to hold on? Great bowl, Frank. Well bowled.
He's getting a lot of love in the comments.
Come on, Tank.
And certainly that last bowl of the previous end and that last bowl there, he's showing that he's got plenty of capability. Frank Lim from Mooralbark in Victoria.
What has Stephen Sale got in reply?
Well,
He's jogging in after it.
This is the first time any player's fired one of their bowls to the head. Now, obviously Stephen has noticed that Frank's found his range a little bit. He's looking at changing it up. He's changing the tempo straight away.
And that's exactly right. He'll just have a look, stand down there. He's in. Look, it's not an aggressive game, but he's standing in Frank's eye line now, and that's he's going to look. Hang on, I'm looking at a Helensvale shirt. I've just drawn two beauties, and he's drawn a third. So it hasn't worked for Stephen. That's brilliant.
Those limbs are firing.
That makes it tough to get to. Look at that. Even if he makes contact here, it's probably just going to sit in those bowls. It might get.
Does he go big?
Yeah, that was going to be my suggestion. It's going to be very hard to make a shot here.
Well, if he goes big and even kills the end, it'll be from 3 down to 1 down because Frank is covering the tee or has the closer bowl to the tee. Unless does he try and go on the forehand,
I know what
backhand?
you're saying. A little bit of swing weight down there, but it's a tough shot.
Yeah.
It's a tough shot.
Does he go on the backhand here and try and squeeze that jack out?
Forehand, a little bit of power. Well, he's backhand, you're exactly right.
He's missed. So, all of a sudden, game on. Frank Lim takes a 3.
3 shots it is to Frank. He moves on to 7. And it's getting a bit closer.
Yep. So, Perth Pennants, please tell me Dave Rankin is watching, because I think we've got a 10-7. We know Dave Rankin absolutely loves that scoreline, but there may be another issue with the scoreboard, because scoreboard attendant has this at 9-7. So there may have been another issue.
Well, he's only got, it's only 9, but he hasn't taken his shoes off, so it's definitely not 11. Frank the Tank on the mat again. Looks like he's thrown that 3/4 length.
It's funny what happens when you get a mat.
Well, look, regardless of the score, whether it's 10-7 or 9-7, as the scoreboard showing, Lockie's gone out to find out for us. Whatever the score, the game has changed, though, Kyle.
Exactly.
Certainly has.
It's a momentum game, this, and even though Stephen jumped out to a fairly, like a nice little lead, Frank's just held his nerve.
Yep.
He's got a plan in place, just draw. And at the moment, it's the comeback has begun.
Yep.
Such a vital bowl here, mate.
Oh, look, and it's great to see because, we want to have a great contest as much as all the viewers want to have a great contest as well. And Frank's certainly shown, well, why he's the Mooroolbark Club Singles Champion.
Exactly. But I keep saying this, but what national tournament is there in any country that you can have a live streamed event with 2 players that would never probably make this platform? And you've got Frank Lim playing Stephen Sale. Friends and family club members are all watching. This is just a fantastic platform for our bowlers, Nick, isn't it?
Oh, and look, from all around the world, all around the country. Karen and Tony watching from Penguin in Tasmania. That was the one I mentioned before, the Penguin Classic Triples, I think it is, the tournament. As we watch Stephen Sale, well, he's be happy to get one back in there.
So, confirmed, it is only 9-7. I'm not sure what's happened, but we do have the right score now, apparently.
All this does is extends the pleasure for us and for the viewers. We're going to get a longer game. We're going to get some more action. We're going to see Frank Lim.
He's just underneath, doesn't want to rub the bowl up. Oh, and he's master jack away, but it's a bigger target for him.
Well, the challenge now is that the jack's going to go away from his bowl. If there's contact on the light blue at the front, it'll go down the line. And
he's only got one bowl to do something about it, Nick.
Yeah, this is where you need two. You need to get it moving with the first one and then get one close. But with only
Kyle
one
Langley's 5-bowl rule.
Exactly, the 5th bowl. I think our partners like Henselite should look at that 5th bowl in a new set, because it could be an option there in the future for games. No, look, Stephen here, he's going to play. My bowl would be just behind his current one. It's very hard to draw a second. He's playing backhand, so that's an interesting concept.
Well, he's pretty safe out there. He'd be desperately unlucky to chip any of those across, and if he can get behind,
He's done well, yeah.
Gets off that and gets behind. Where did you want that, Kyle?
About there.
There, yeah.
So this is the difference. Stephen's been playing a lot longer than I have, and I've got no idea. Thank you.
Stephen Sale plays Premier grade for the Hawks, I'm told, and with a bowl like that, you can probably see why.
Sharon watching from Perth, soon to be moving to Pimpama in Queensland.
He's had a pretty good effort here, Frank.
He's not far away. Frank Lim just goes through. Has he affected the count, though?
No comment. I can't see from here.
He was very close, though. Just he could have cut the jack, across the line there and made a number. But as it is, we're very confident that Stephen's got one. And he can probably afford to play that backhand again. The same shot. He can get a similar result. He can rub off his own bowl. And move the jack back pretty safely.
See, Premier League player versus loose unit. I'll go with Stephen. It's on a good track here, Nick, as well.
This is exactly what he needs to get things back on track a little bit.
Plates.
Falls in. It'll at least be 2. What about a third? Has he just done the instant reply? Just the 2. So that's 11-7. 7-11. Go get your $1 coffee.
There is one just down the road from, just across the road from the casino, actually.
Yeah, where we're staying?
Yeah.
Right down there.
It was open at 4 o'clock this morning when I was heading to work.
I've frequented that 7-Eleven a few times late at night.
I didn't know that dollar coffees were in your repertoire, Val, after you told me about your preferred venue.
Well, 7-Eleven actually does pretty nice coffee. It's like, look, it's not the greatest, but if you're looking for something that's, you know, if you're desperate for a coffee,
Comes
I'm
in
not
on
going to
budget
say
too.
no. I'm not going to say no.
So what Stephen can do, look, he wants to pop one straight on it, put the pressure back onto Frank.
Well, we've seen he's extended it out a little bit too. He's throwing a longer mat, longer jack.
And the line, look at this. He's
Yeah,
already
great
got the
ball.
jack.
Impeccable. That's a good start.
I think when someone reminded us that he actually plays Premier Grade, that he's just
That might have
stepped
reminded
up.
him.
Yeah, reminded him. He's just stepped up a level. It's brilliant. But Frank's keeping him honest.
Well, their top grade is Divi 2, he tells me, at Mooralbark. But Divi 2 in Melbourne is still no slouch.
Very strong. Look at this for a bowl.
Has he found the...
Sit
Yep,
and hold.
he's
Well
found
done.
it.
Like if the viewers at home are looking at Sheriff Veach tees, it'd be a worthy head. These players are just playing magnificently, Nick. It's just, and this is it's the thing we have with the Australian Open. Anyone can come out here and play, and they're playing out of their skin.
This could be your 5th great love of the week.
This match.
This match. This contest. This event. I know you love everything about this event, but this match is turning into one of your...
I think
great loves.
Kyle is just a loving individual.
I'm just a kid in a candy shop. This is brilliant. You know, I spent the first X amount of years of my life playing different sports, and I finally found lawn bowls, and I just don't want to be anywhere away from it. It's just so it's exciting and satisfying. It's one of the best games that I've ever played, and I've played a lot of them.
Josette Hamlin enjoying watching the not-so-credited bowlers. Nice to see that all get an opportunity now to be live-streamed, not just those with the high resumes. And it's exactly right, because this is what the Australian Open is. We pick a rink. Doesn't matter who's on there. We stream you.
Well, look at that. There's Frank Lim Sheriff, just another one in there. That's brilliant.
Screen has been manicured by Aaron Sheriff today. Out there on the roller. I like to call it the green machine.
Well, you talk about some of the big names, though. We've lost a few. We did
Yep.
mention in the earlier game, and for those that haven't been following along, there'll be a great story published on the BA website at the conclusion of the day's play. But some of the big names out there include Carl Healy, Cohen Litfin,
Barry
Ryan
Lester.
Burnett, Barry Lester.
Chris Wallace could be in trouble.
Important bowl this for Frank. He's got a chance to make a good number here.
Are you playing the singles, Nick?
No, mate, no.
No.
I'm here exclusively to work.
Oh, wow. First time I've heard you say that. Frank Lim to try and get things back on track a little bit more so.
He just wanted to get down to that pale blue bowl. The jack's obscured, but it is...
In between those two.
No, it's in front. There we
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Beautiful. We can see that there. Yeah, the other angle's got the jack obscured, but if Frank can get a turn out of that light blue bowl of Stephen Sale, he's a chance of making a 4 and bringing this contest level again.
Stephen Sale will want to be in the area.
Frank has played Premier Division for Croydon in the past in Melbourne.
Okay, I doubt that 4's going to happen now.
No slouch then.
Oh, look, as he's showing, he's got plenty of capability here. And I think he'll back himself to go and he's only got to rest in with the light blue bowls of Stephen Sale. Big chance to make a 3.
Line looks pretty good here.
Yep. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he might have it. And that
no.
limb would be wrong.
Yeah, just sailed away the other direction. And how many times can we say limb and sail in this entire... We'll get there. 2 to Frank.
Seems that way. Yes. 11 to 9. Stephen Sale was involved in a 20-all draw to start proceedings today against Corey Hicks. And this one is ever so close. The momentum swings are aplenty.
Yeah, well, we saw Stephen Sale. He rattled off 5 ends on the spin, and looked confident and in control. Frank Lim, though, he's taken 3 out of the last 4 ends and is showing his absolute high level of capability too against a well-credentialed Stephen Sale.
He's got a plan there. He's just draw, and draw. I think he's only played 1 shot with a little bit of intent. He's just trying to put one around that jack.
He's 1 for 1 though when he played with a bit of weight. He got 2 out and sat in there for shot.
Now we're day 3 of the Australian Open. Val and Nick, what's the plans for the rest of the evening? Is there
the evening
Saturday? I'll tell you, Friday and Saturday nights, even Sunday nights in Broadbeach, it's alive. But I'm thinking Monday might be a quieter evening down there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe head down to Mario's for some dinner. We'll see. Have to have a think about that. Grand Dynasty Chinese restaurant's pretty good.
Plenty of options here in Broadbeach.
Even I walked over to Pacific Fair last night and had a burrito from Mad Mex, so it was nice and easy. Plenty to do.
Sadly, I'll be tapping on the computer this evening. I do have a little bit of work to get done. The
Look at you busy man.
Well, the ACT indoor singles draw will be coming out this evening, so I've got to go make sure I get the right match up.
Well, now, when you say tapping on a computer, do you mean 5 times 25 lines or not? They'll be actually on a laptop.
I've got a laptop. I'm here to work. I did say that. No, all work and no play. But
makes Nick a dull boy.
I'm trying to be a little bit entertaining. We had Gisette Hemlin. She had a chuckle out.
Yep.
So I'm being entertaining for at least one of our viewers.
And Frank Lim is being entertaining for a fair few because that is the shot. He has come to play. Looking to extend his winning record here.
Looks very likely.
Apparently it's a measure, but...
Jamie Dixon, not as confident as Val.
I'm confident. Go hard or go home.
Stephen just looking to get a turn out of his bowl.
If he does, that'll certainly be the shot.
In front here to confirm it.
Going to come around. He's run up the green, though.
But we see again, he's following his bowl. He's just that the tempo needs to change. He's recognised that Frank has found his groove somewhat. And it's also good to know because you need to visualise what's going on at the head sometimes and just to go up there, have a look, know for sure and certain what is... what shot to play, what weight to play. Now Frank, the same thing, looking to get a turn out of his front bowl. He's got to clear the furthest in front.
Nice track here.
Might not need a turn. Doesn't want too much of a jack.
Falls down for the shot.
That'll be shot.
Well, same sort of plan here for Stephen, though. I mean, that front bowl at 11 o'clock as we're looking at it, that probably only needs to have one revolution.
I think the good part about it is they're both standing up for him, so any contact will roll through for him. And there is enough room for the bowl to actually travel and not make a mess between the jack and Frank's bowl. See how we go here. Just taking his time, which is good. He needs to refocus on...
He seems a very composed character. There's not been a lot of histrionics from him. He's been quite well contained so far, but he might get a bit excited if he can make a shot out of this.
Line looks good, Nick, here. Front contact.
Not far off. Oh, he's hit it too hard.
Now. Does that bring the front one in?
Well, here comes Frank Lim.
Now. This is probably the most tense trundle up the green that we've had. Surveying, it is definitely Frank Lim's mat. But is the score going to be level? One kicked away. Chucked on the ground. Stephen says, if you want it, you measure it.
Yeah, there's no gifts in the Australian Open, is there? But
nope. Unless someone calls in sick.
Well, Stephen might be a bit dark on himself there, though, because he was entitled to get a turn out of that. He played it not too badly, but just it went a little bit too far.
Now, speaking of gifts, there are some gifts in the Australian Open.
One. It is, sorry. Now continue.
No, I can wait. No. Apparently, if you go and get an Audica hearing test, they have little prizes every now and again for those people that get tests done. So there's a possible gift. So you can come down to Broadbeach to the marquee at the front and go to Audica, have your hearing done and hearing tested, and go from there.
Yep.
What'd you say?
No, I was just going to say that was only one shot.
What'd you say? No, it was a hearing test. Sorry.
I did not cotton onto that. That's good by you.
You're getting weary, Val, after 8 sessions in 3 days.
I know. If I'm getting weary now, think about how bad it's going to be later on. But back to this, and Frank Lim staging the comeback, and it was a 20-all draw for Stephen Sale firstly this morning against Corey Hicks. Are we going to get the same thing?
And that match this morning, I did go and have a little bit of a look at it. He was actually holding. Stephen was up 20-18, holding 2. And the young Hicks fella, he drove down. Jack in the pit took 2. Ended up being a 20-all draw.
And JR came and tapped him on the shoulder and said, that's it.
He's on the megaphone. He was last end, boys. But, it was we were 2 hours and 15 in and needed to end. They stayed out there in the rain.
They did. Respect to them. Saw some other clubs. I think
Rabina.
Yep, pooling. So that one's just going to come through. I dare say that'll be shot.
I did see a photo from Mackenzie Park as well, and they were starting the synchronised swimming at some stage. It was underwater. But back here at Broadbeach, it's just magnificent. The greens have dried out well, and they're starting to take that turn that we saw this morning. Frank's found his range here the last few ends, Nick, but he just gone a bit wide there, but really concentrating. And both players, there's not a lot of emotion.
They look very focused, don't they, both of them? I think they understand the importance of this game in terms of the section outcomes. You know, to Stephen Sale, we know a win, it's win or go home, whereas Frank can lose his game. But if you're 2 out of 2 in the section, you'd be feeling very confident going into the last round. Stephen looking to hang around for the jack here. Slides underneath. Paul Jackson saying, don't know either bowler, but do love watching it come back. Well, don't we all? It's nice to cheer for the underdog, but I don't know who the underdog is in this contest now. Val, who have you got as favourite?
Bowles.
As I say, who was the winner on the day?
Bowles was the winner.
Bowles was the winner.
It's the great leveller, the great levelling answer. Just needs a little rub here, doesn't get one, and it ends up in an okay home here for Frank Lim, because if Stephen Sale doesn't put one behind, can make things very, very interesting.
Affectionately known as Salesy back at Helensvale,
Yep.
apparently.
From Benny G.
Chance to draw a third here.
He needs to. He's lost 4 of the last 5 ends here. Stephen Sale
This will come back too.
has come back,
Well
so
bowled.
that's...
It's in a really good home there too. It protects against a lot of the potential damage. You know, Frank Lim can now only draw for one. You can't be playing any more weight than that. So we'll see how good he is.
But that's the importance of getting that second shot if that's the worst result. He needs to at least draw the shot or sit one of these bowls on the left there. Trust your grass.
He's done that, I think. Needs it to get down.
This might rub too. That's a great effort. That's a measure, but that's a great effort.
Ooh, no,
No,
Jamie.
they've given one to... Jamie's given one to Frank Lim here.
So that would level things up.
That is a huge bowl.
I've just seen Frank walk away at the back of the rink there, and a big exhale, bit of a smile. He's quite happy with that result there.
Now, Kyle, do you think this bowl here of Frank Lim's, which is at about 8 o'clock as we look on our screen, do you think they can get through that hole? Because there's a chance for a 4 if it can.
Is he keen to try and take that risk at the moment? But you're right. It's a big area to draw, though.
He's in front and he's only down 1. You might as well.
Haven't seen weight yet from Stephen. Salesy.
He's pretty controlled again.
Yep. And he's not going for that trail.
It's a tighter line, though.
Well, this is what I said. If this dark blue bowl...
One out.
Oh, where's it gone?
Oh, that's unlucky.
So I think this is the 5th of 6 ends now for Frank Lim. Remember, he was down 9-3. Scores now about to be 11 all, we think.
And that trundle down the green's become a little bit of a meander. He's just picked up the pace a bit, so he's got a spring in his step.
Well, it's 14 ends, Val.
Yep.
11 all. 7 ends they've won each.
It just typifies Frank Lim's day today, really.
I did say 20 all very early in the contest.
You
was the
did.
result. Now,
And I said you'd be wrong, so maybe I'm wrong here.
how are we going for time? It's now 5 minutes to 1.
So that's now, what time do we start? 11:45?
45.
So I've gone an hour and 9 minutes. I've got an hour and 6 to go.
Well, I'll be having words because there is a lunch on today again. I don't want to miss the lunch menu. So if they take too long, I'll be out there. Hurry it up, boys.
That's all right, I can finish this off for you, Carl.
That'll be flying solo. We're both stuffing our face on.
Yeah, that's all right.
I did come for lunch yesterday. The double beef burger was just...
Bang as a mash. Look at this, Frank. Well bowled.
Frank Lim.
Start.
It was a slower start for him, but he has found his range beautifully, and the consistency of Stephen Sale has remained throughout. But this has been an enthralling battle.
Just wondering, Nick, can we get our microphones inside to the bar? We could sit in there and have a lunch. And
There may be some language going on in there that's
Yeah.
not fit for broadcast.
There may be, or there will be.
They may be. No, Val could stay here. We could eat inside, and that'll be an opportunity later, of course.
Great to see that this is a real team game out here.
Yeah.
There's no I in team.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll do the right thing.
Nick Hind and Kyle Langley here for Bowls Australia, and of course Rinkside Live, and a Val sitting in the background. Yeah,
There's no I in team, but there is an ME.
exactly. Frank's just put some pressure straight on here to Stephen, and his first one was a little bit loose. And look at Frank again. Here we go.
Well, the loose bowls are getting punished now, aren't they, Kyle?
Yeah.
Like, there's
Frank hasn't led for the last 11 ends. Sorry, guys.
there's been precious little opportunity.
Josette.
Josette Hamlin, what a beauty. You do it, Val. I won't. Yeah.
No, it needs to be read in your voice.
I can't do it. Josette has said that Frank is now limbered up. Well done, Josette. That's better than anything Nick Hind can come up with.
Yes.
Yep.
Limbered. Well done.
I did see that before.
That's
blokes, and I was almost going to claim it as my own, but no, the credit needs to go to
Josette.
those on the stream.
Stephen just took shot, so they've given one, or Jamie's given one. Of course, the 2023 Australian Open proudly brought to you by Apia, who's helping you live the good life and play bowls.
And play some good bowls there, Frank, getting a nice touch. I don't know whether that's done enough. It did fall out.
Now, Stephen needs to get another one in here because there's an opportunity for Frank to sit that shot bowl and knock it into oblivion. Possibly take a 4. But I tell you what, Stephen Sale is in the area.
He's going to find that gap.
He doesn't want the jack.
It's
Oh.
That was the shot that Frank was going to play next. That's brilliant for Frank, but unfortunately for Salesy, Stephen Sales, it's just made it very difficult.
It was such a good effort from Stephen Sale. And now the jack is just tucked so nicely.
He's not changing his plan here, just a simple drawdown on this hand. He may even run through and sit Stephen's bowl.
Won't get anything from that.
He's going to have a good look at this, Stephen Sale, because there's a real need for him to get an end up. I'd say he's what, 2 down there? There may be a shot on the backhand to get down near the jack and try to squeeze it out.
I'm sitting here waving at our marker to try and get an idea of what the...
We want to be...
He's concentrating.
Yeah, we want to be in the suspense. So this is massive in the context of this match. Hasn't been behind since the end of end 4. This is end 15.
A little bit of intent with backhand. Not far away, Nick. Not far away at all.
Has he done it? He's knocked one away.
Very good effort.
Ooh, this match.
It was a hard one. It was a hard one to get at. Even if he got in off the wider bowl there, the jack was pretty well locked in. So Stephen Sale has played a couple of really good bowls there, but still goes, we think, 1 down.
6 out of the past 7 ends have gone to the Victorian from Muralbach. And this has been some sort of a contest. He was down 9-3. And all of a sudden, he leads it for the first time since the end of N4.
Yeah, he's got that mat back, and really, he's really got a leg up since then, hasn't he?
Frank's limbs are firing.
Leg up? Limb? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go away.
We are on fire.
He's armed himself with a good arsenal here.
A good what?
I didn't think you wanted to mention Arsenal, Kyle.
No, very disappointing. We won't go there.
It's all right. They made Champions League. Liverpool did not. But I think everybody can be happy that Tottenham didn't. Even though Ange Postecoglou is there now.
Oh, what a great situation for Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah.
And Australian soccer, really, because look at the sports around this country and this world we have. We're the best in the world in cricket. We have 26 million people. We just played against...
India, 1.4 billion.
1.4 billion. We have the best bowlers in the world. 26 million, every other country combined. So we are a very talented sporting nation.
And it flows down all the way through all sports. And we're seeing here 2 players who are putting on an absolute exhibition for us today.
Just a quick one. That's the countdown clock. Less than an hour to go.
That's new. How did we do this? Is this Lockie?
Lachlan Williams is a magician. Move over Dynamo. We'll put it up a little bit later. Frank Lim tightening the screws.
That's 59 minutes to go. That's not till the end of the match. That's till the bistro shuts. So I need to hurry. No, well bowled, Frank.
The great Lindsay Clark shown up. You're a bit late, Lindsay.
I've just Matt Berry. He's made a comment there about Aussie sailing. Well, Matt Slingsby. He's not just a world champion, is he? No.
Well, I think who was the one that did the solo around the world sail? I've forgotten her name.
Kay Cotty was one,
Yeah.
and we had the young lady, Jessica. Was it Jessica?
Yeah, Jessica someone.
One
Simpson?
of our,
No, that's
one
the
of
singer.
our one of our viewers will let us know.
You've got Matt Slingsby and Matt Belcher.
They're our
Tom
best
Slingsby,
resources.
sorry. Matt Belcher. We've got some brilliant world champions.
Yep.
So, Matt Berry, thanks for your comment, but I challenge you, sir.
I think Stephen might have a bit of a look at this one. He's got favour second and third. There's a bit of a target.
Well, Kay Cotty, of course, has done a couple of things for Apia, who are our great partners at Bowls Australia. We're proud to support the event, the volunteers and officials.
He's being short there, and he's cruelled himself now of an opportunity to...
Jessica
go a bit
Watson,
harder.
that's her name.
Jessica Watson, thank you.
Thank you, Brendan Ryan. Definitely not Jessica Simpson.
Brendan will be sending out the Nick Hines show bag later for you. That's have we got those printed yet?
There might still be some Clive Adams T-shirts I can give away.
No, we gave those all to Clive. We don't need them anymore.
From what I understood, we gave them to charity, but the charity didn't want them. They gave them back. Good morning, Clive. You'll still be morning. Legend of the game, legend of BA.
Now, Stephen's going to come and have a look at this, because I think if he plays the forehand with a little bit of weight, he can pop that bowl out, he can probably sit and stay, and he can probably make three.
Well, is it 3 or would it be 4? Depends on that front bowl.
I don't like the front one. I think the one at 3 o'clock's a chance, but I don't know about the one at 12 o'clock.
Enthralling struggle here, really is.
Really, really is. This has been the best match I think we've had. The first match we had between Will Sharkey and Tom Taiaroa on day one, session one, was an intriguing battle. That went 21-20 in the favour of Will Sharkey. But this one has been a tussle and a half.
See the sort of weight he's playing here, Stephen Sale.
Controlled, but I think he's going for exactly what you said, Nick Hine. And I tell you what,
Close.
he's not far away.
Close.
I got the jack as well. Didn't want that, but I reckon he's going to make 2 here.
Definitely 2.
Wait for the players to come and tell us, because they'll know better. But that was a big bowl. Stephen Sale, he's been so valiant in the last few ends, but without getting any result, any luck. It was well set up for him, though.
Well, the last 3 ends, he'd only dropped ones. But he dropped 6 out of the last 7 before this, and he takes a 2 and regains the lead, 13-12. We continue to go bowl for bowl and end for end. Well, not really end for end. That's the first one he's won in a while, but he needed it.
It sounded good, though.
Yeah.
It did sound good.
It is 8 ends all, though, Val. I've done the numbers in my head.
So, all right, we're calling it end for end. I was right. Okay.
Well, I've got to go on I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to sail past, but I'm saying a statement now. Sydney J. Bean Fan Club will be closing, and the winner of this match will be starting a new fan club.
And you're
is
just
he
saying
off?
that to be frank.
I'm saying that to be frank, yes.
So Sydney J. Bean was your man until
It will either be a limb or a salesy at the end of this.
until 11:35 today, when we introduced to these two lovely gentlemen who are putting on an absolute spectacle. I've been watching the viewer count. There's been climbing and climbing and climbing as we've been going through the game. Obviously, people all around the world. Now, I did suggest that we need 1 billion followers. We're not quite there yet. We're still several hundred million away, but the viewer count is climbing, and why wouldn't it be with a game of this standard?
And the most important viewers at the moment are Frank Lim's grandkids out there watching. And welcome to the broadcast.
Welcome to everybody from wherever you're watching around the world. It's an enthralling battle between Queensland's and the Gold Coast's very own Stephen Sale and Mooroolbark's Frank Lim. Victoria versus Queensland. These two have had an entertaining contest And change of length here.
Yeah, you see he's taken the mat all the way back to the tee almost, and thrown the jack right up there. Would be 30+ metres on this.
And Nick, we talked about that before. It's you have to think about how you can mentally psych the other player out in these situations.
Got the jack here, Stephen Sales. Sorry, Kyle.
No, well. But it's a tactic. You need to look at those tactics all the time. It's something you need to do.
Joyce Ebick watching from Port Macquarie. Good afternoon to you. I'm none the wiser to who wins this match. Now, Stephen Sale was the first to win 3 ends in a row. That's Nick Hines' theory. He was wrong in the first match. Not sure about the second. We'll see.
Wrong's a harsh word, Nick. I'd say more incorrect or not right.
I had a suboptimal outcome.
Thank you. Yeah, see, the pressure's back on Frank now. He's 2 down. He's left that one short. He needs to refocus. Maybe it's time for him to have a walk up after this bowl.
No, look, I'm big on that, and the viewers will probably hear me tomorrow and through the rest of the week while I'm here. Is that there's a lot of little things that you can do to change the game, and no matter what your capabilities are as a player, there are things that you can do whether you're in a team game or in an individual game, which can benefit you. And just to change things a little bit, like running between the wickets in cricket,
Yep.
You can do it well and you can do it badly, but if you're lazy, it's going to cost you.
Certainly.
Same thing here.
Now, sorry, Kyle. Glenn Burt has just commented here. Great AO story. Tomorrow at Coolangatta, 16-year-old Oline Gravgaard from Denmark will be playing in the pairs. Oline is an exchange student who took up bowls at Wonthaggi in Victoria over summer and enjoyed it so much she entered the Open. I'm guessing she's the only Dane to ever play the Australian Open. I'm not sure about that stat, but that is a wonderful story. And
if anyone can find out, Val, it'll be you.
We will.
Let's say she's the first 16-year-old Dane. That could be. She could be. Great effort here, Stephen. Picked it up and taken it through.
That's 4.
Probably holding 4 now.
That's 4.
He's a bit dark on himself, though. There, I was looking at him, and he's thrown his cloth in frustration because there's now so much more room for Frank Lim to draw even second shot.
So, Joyce, this isn't the final. This is just sectional rounds. We've got still, what's this, day 3? We've got 11 days to go after this. That's how much bowls you've got to enjoy over the next week and a half or so. What's he got here? And he's motoring. I know I like that word. Has he gone too far here?
Nick, I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out 4.
Both look fairly despondent.
Definitely 2. Could be 3, possibly 4. Definitely 1. Let's just wait for Jamie to give us the marking. Paddles.
I'm relying on the marker here.
Jamie Dixon, we are all watching you. Only 2 matches left on this green, and if it is 4, that means that Stephen Sale will be in the checkout zone and within an end of victory. 1 kicked out. This is some long measuring. Is it only 1? It's only 1.
Wow.
This is why I kept my powder dry there, boys. I didn't want to go off early because you just don't know. The camera angles, as great as they are, and credit to the whole team here with Bowls Australia streaming, the camera angles can be deceptive. And as we've just seen, that bowl from Frank Lim looked like it was very quick, but it's still pulled up in time. He now trails by 2. But Stephen Sale, look, he's taking the mat right back again. I suggest this jack will be right up near marker Jamie Dixon's feet, who's standing at the tee at the other end.
Stephen Sale would be kicking himself a little bit, and you could see how bereft he was in his stride, just thinking about what could have been, and Frank Lim was annoyed at himself for not doing more with that bowl.
Yeah,
but
I think they can both be entitled to be a bit dark on themselves there. Stephen Sale, he got the jack, but he didn't want it to then bring out that option in, and then Frank, didn't get within 1.5 metres. He's probably entitled to be a bit cranky himself too because he's got the capability, as we've seen.
Knockouts do not start tomorrow. Jason?
Great start there.
I think Stephen, so long as he's got the map, we're going to be seeing this length for the rest of the game, whether it's another 48 minutes or whether it's whatever, however long it might be. I think there's a chance that we could be timed out.
So Saturday is when the men's singles knockouts commence. This match has been nothing short of sensational. We've enjoyed it. 17 ends completed. This is end number 18, and we've only seen 26 shots conceded. Now, the Australian Open, supported by Major Events Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland. Both are just wonderful in helping us put this event on. You can see around the flags there on the 45-degree angles, and we've got mesh fencing here, all draped in City of Gold Coast and Tourism and Events Queensland tarps, and they do a wonderful job in helping us out.
And Nick Stevens made the fatal error there. Not fatal yet, but you throw to the tee to tee, you've got to at least reach, not 6 foot short.
Yeah, we're entitled to be disappointed with himself there. He's shown plenty of capabilities. We watch Frank Lim. He's going to look to reach down.
Frank.
And that's why he's going to be disappointed with himself. He's given an opportunity to Frank Lim, and as we've seen throughout this game, Frank Lim is going to take that opportunity.
And this is probably going to force... Will it force Stephen to go over to the forehand? Looks like he's staying backhand here. Trying to come under his own and having that bowl out in front. I know they will turn, but it's in his eye line there. That didn't come out of the hand as well as you would have liked either.
Is this now, do you need your B up sign, Kyle Langley?
There it is.
Well, like you say, it rattled into that one. It does open it up to play the other hand now. With a little bit of weight.
14-12 the score.
The B up sign. No, I've changed the sign to another new sign. It's hurry up, lunch is served. Frank's gone wide here, trying to get around the front bowl of Stephen. Is he going to bring it back? Here she comes. Yeah, Nick, that's funny. Stephen sailed through ditch. I get in trouble with that. Tee to tee, but Frank's been the one that's bowled the 3 with the correct weight. He's done very well on this end.
Yeah, it seems as though Stephen, I think, we saw him chastising himself as he went up the green following the previous end. Maybe mentally, he's just had a little lapse here. He's taking some time out. He's standing behind the mat at the northern end just to refocus, because it's very, it's important for him now. He's got to get one in there. Jamie Amarca has suggested that it's 2 shots to Frank Lim.
He's staying backhand. Backhand with some intent.
Well, if he can grab that jack, but he's a little bit underweight. Or under grass, depending on which way you want to look at it.
Now, does Nick Hind here play with a little bit of weight, try and sit that bowl at the back and take 4?
Not in this format.
Too much of a risk?
Not in this format, no. He's got a 2 that the markers suggested. He's boxing on well here. The risk is that you can still clear your 2 shot bowls out of the head and give it away. I don't think at this stage it's worth taking a risk.
He's played the weight so well here on this end as well.
He has, and I dare say the line is all right.
Good line again.
Frank Lim
needs to travel.
Needs it to get up. I don't know if it did. But this could be a level playing field after 18 ends. What have we got here? This battle continues to ensue. We're going to get a measure. Val McKenzie saying, hello, Val. I came to say hi to you yesterday in the last game at Broadie, but we'd already packed up. Yeah, it was a very quick match yesterday. Had all hands on deck helping us pack up, so sorry, Val, if you are around, do come and say hi. It's 2. And guess what? Level pegging. 14 apiece.
Yeah, they've looked very well matched from the start, these two players, and that little lapse there, it's been pounced on, as I suggested, by Frank Lim. He's, if we look through the second half of the game, we're 18 ends into it now. From the 9th end, it's only been 3 ends to Stephen Sale. He's the one who's going to need to really focus.
Certainly he is, but he's holding on. He is holding on. This match has been something magnificent for us. Best one that we've had so far.
And it's been so close. So we've had a 4 from Stephen and a 3, I think it was, from Frank back early, but the rest of the ends have been 1s and 2s. It's just very evenly matched, both of these players.
This is N19, Lee Henderson.
Top right of the screen does show that. Lockie's keeping all the
Great
technology
start.
up to date here.
Great start by Frank. Sorry, Nick, I butted in there, but I got super excited. That was a great bowl.
This is getting better and better. The range was found early from both. Stephen had the better of it, but Frank Lim has roared back into contention.
And look out here. Is he going to get down?
Just squeezes past. It was a great effort. 21 up. It's essentially a 7-shot shootout. First to 7 wins this, but we have a time limit as well. And we'll try and get that up for you soon.
We should change that graphic to a countdown to lunches served.
42 minutes.
42 minutes. The way we're going, we'll be here till midnight, but no.
Well, these bowls could play till midnight, and I don't know if the margin changed too much. As I say, they seem fairly well matched. Now, we saw last end when Stephen dropped a bit short, Frank pounced. Can the reverse happen here? Stephen Sale.
Good line again.
Same line, is it? Oh, just corrected a little bit.
Now, Frank needs to refocus here. He put one on it. I think he might have relaxed a bit, left it at a few feet short. So he just needs to refocus on what he needs to do here. Go back to his game plan. Nice draw. And wouldn't even hurt if he went past the head here.
Certainly the way that it's set up now, there's an opportunity.
Oh, he's going to be disappointed with this one, Nick.
Yeah, just watching him as he trots back behind the mat at the southern end there. He's kicking his bowls.
That's not the Frank Lim we've grown to love, is it? That no,
certainly not.
Stephen Sale, he might be a bit short too. He played a marathon in the first game. It was 2 hours 15. It went the trip. He didn't get much of a break. Frank Lim, he got the win. He got to sit down for a little bit longer. I wonder whether that might impact the players. That it is a big campaign this 2 weeks up here.
And both these gentlemen would be just a couple of years above their late 20s.
Yep. It's the Hunt watching from Walker and in country New South Wales. Under 40 minutes to go here.
Better bowl here from Frank. That should make 2.
This could be his end. This could be the end that he...
Well, I'd be having a go at this now. Jack all the way back to the ditch. You can get one out. Go quick on the backhand.
Stephen Sale.
His intent there for sure. Now it's going to go under, but look out.
But is he going to take a rub here? Oof, almost pinball and cannon through. But the lead is going to go back to Frank Lim. Now, Glenn Harvey asking, do you have to be affiliated with Bowls Australia to play in the AO? You have to be a member of a club that is affiliated with Bowls Australia.
Or from clubs around the world with our other member nation organisations across World Bowls.
Well, Glenn, look, without being too breaking your privacy too much, let us know which area you are in and we'll put you in touch with someone that can point you to a bowling club in your area where you could become a member for sure and get into the game.
So 14-12 down, just 2 ends ago. He leads at 16-14, does the man from Victoria, Frank Lim, as even the little birds here are coming to sit on the benches and watch some bowls. One's gone onto the green to find some food.
Now, Nick, question without notice. I do it all the time. We talk about the length of games, and people look at, it's you're just walking up and down a green, but how tiring can bowls be both mentally and physically when you're out there for, these gentlemen would have been on green for 5 hours come lunchtime?
Well, we see that stamina is required in any sport. While it's not physically taxing, the duration that you're out on the green, the duration that some of us enjoy to stay at the club after the event, but there is a lot of physical movement still. There's a lot of activity, and the best players need to be fit enough and capable enough to do it the whole way. Anyone can play, but to play at this level and to play and win, I mean, you've got to be here for 2 weeks if you're going to win the men's singles.
And most of our players here will play, on the pilgrimage, will play singles, pairs, fours. So by the end of the Australian Open, these players would have played a lot of bowls, and they'll go back home and have to have a holiday before they go back to work.
Yep, holiday after the holiday.
Croatia,
anywhere.
So I'm thinking Sweden.
Maybe let's just do every country in Europe.
We can live stream from your house if you'd like. It's easy.
So,
Frankie, you're on a good track.
He is. Look, he's in the better nick at the moment. His limbs are working better. But can Stephen come home with a wet sail?
Those viewer numbers are dropping again.
Yeah, they have. I wonder why. Can't be me.
No, really important now for Stephen. He's shown that he's been so tough throughout this contest. He's really he's given it his all. You feel that he needs a result to go his way, whether it's a little rub or whether it's a missed chance from Frank. But the game's gone from Stephen being in a fairly dominant position to now Frank feeling like he has the ascendancy.
And that's the key. But I'm watching this thinking Frank's playing the more positive bowls game at the moment, where Stephen's just coming up a little bit short. He needs to make sure he reaches the jack here. He has to be up.
Does. Fuzz Zimmerman watching from Goondiwindi, looking forward to Wednesday.
It's pleasing. He's sticking to his method. It's easy to get frustrated and start driving at everything and feeling as though you're a bit beaten, but he's back in his draw and he's played it well.
That's not bad. That's going to
fantastic. Stephen Sale
falls in.
Well played.
1 to Stephen.
Good to see he's listening. You can hear us from here, I guess, but you're right. He just had to be up.
I think the focus both these players have shown, they won't be listening to us. They'll be concentrating on what's going on in the game. Maybe a little word and a joke with one another between ends.
Just gone through that.
Yeah, it was a fair effort though. That pace, there was no danger with that pace. He could have turned the light blue bowl out and made several. He could have dragged the jack.
So after 20 ends, if this is a 1, Frank will have only led after 4 ends or 5 ends. If this is a 2, it'll remain at 4. So that's how well Stephen has been able to respond, but it will only be a 1. So Frank Lim maintains the lead.
Doesn't matter what end. It doesn't matter how many ends you're leading for. It's just matters who's going to get the 21 the first.
Yeah.
Or are we in danger? 35 minutes to go.
Well, Glenn has just responded. Glenn's a member of Warrialda Bowls Club in New South Wales, which he doesn't think they're affiliated. Glenn, I'm not quite sure. Have a chat to your board, have a chat to your committee. If they want to come back to affiliation where you can then play at the Australian Open and other events, be in touch with your regional bowls manager, which you'll find on either the New South Wales Bowls website or the Bowls Australia website under resources. Again, if they are not going to affiliate, you might just have to join another club, my friend. But we'd love to see Warrialda come back as an affiliated club. Salesy's all over his first one there.
So 75 minutes into this contest.
Yep. Anyone's game.
Anyone's game.
No one in the checkout zone yet. So we're guaranteed another end still after this.
So
At least.
Yeah, so for those that are just joining us, it's Stephen Sale here from Helensvale, who's about to draw second shot.
Great shot.
Is he going to wrestle the lead back? Lee Henderson, short lunch for you guys today. Yep.
There's not many left in the party mix either.
They've done well. They've gotten us through. Only had 2 coffees and 4 lollies today, so I am quite famished.
Important
Frank
volley
Lim.
for
Frank Lim.
Oh,
Frank Lim.
great response from Frank.
Has he done enough, though?
Well, the spray chalk's probably kept that bowl up, but it looks like that last bowl of Frank Lim is going to fall over at any minute. It is 1 to Frank.
To red.
Oh, it's that one. So a confident call there from Jamie Dixon saying that the 3 o'clock bowl is the shot. The dark blue, Taylor SR of Frank Lim.
Yep.
The shot bowl. So we're seeing Stephen flip it over.
Yep. If he squeezes this jack in behind, it's an opportunity, but I think he's going to be wide. Good weight. I think this one has been by far the best match we've had of the Australian Open so far, presented by Apia, helping you live the good life and play bowls.
And Salesy's very popular on the comments too. Cameron Wilson just saying, watching from Warwick, Queensland, go Salesy.
Now, what has he got? Frank Lim. It's gone wide. Still holding. He would love a second here.
It's a good guide though. We saw Stephen Sale's last bowl did hang out a little bit. There is a bit of breeze up now, but that's a good guide for him to get in under that. Look to get down to the jack. If he can get a turn through the jack or a turn through this 3 o'clock bowl, he's still high.
He's gone wide.
I wonder whether the breeze, that's 3 in a row that have hung out there.
Now, though, an opportunity for Frank Lim to get a second and move to a 3-shot lead.
Just wants to be careful here, not to slice this jack towards Stephen Sales' bowl.
No.
He's taken a very conservative line and I think a pretty conservative weight too by the looks of it.
Seems that way, so
Stayed well away.
that'll only be 1.
He could have carried that up there and put it right there. It would have been perfect, yeah.
They are going to check this, I reckon. They're going to survey, because we were none the wiser earlier on, but Jamie Dixon was confident. Of course, Stephen led this 9-3 as they survey, but Stephen concedes, and it is 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, checkout zone, as Val likes to call it.
We need to get a sponsor for this, Val.
That's an Alan Faulkner term, and I love it because you're within one end, you are at the checkout, but
Right. On the springboard.
no, I don't like springboard. I like checkout. But how quickly can he get the groceries out of the bag?
Well, it's all self-serve these days, so the checkouts are gone.
Well, will Frank Lim serve himself, though?
Yep. Gail Murtagh watching from Cambodia. Great to have your company.
It's been a good game, whether you're in Cambodia or here at Broadbeach.
Yep.
We've seen that most of the games are finished around the rinks, and so there's been an increasing contingent of fans coming down behind us here.
Beverly Button saying what a great game it is to watch.
And it's good to see that our 1 billion followers, Nick, have stayed with us.
Yeah. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Of course, a big thank you to the City of Gold Coast and Tourism and Events Queensland for helping us put this event together.
Frank Lim, great shot.
Frank Lim certainly extending his thanks to them because that is magnificent.
And what we've seen, Nick, that's going to be hard to get inside now. That's a brilliant start. He set this end up very well.
Desley is watching from Sydney Airport. Where are you flying to, Desley? Are you coming up here? We hope you are.
Tell you what, it's a great effort here, the response.
Oh, no way. I think he's just missed out on shot too, Stephen Sale, but that is a mighty effort.
And that's going to force our friend Frank Lim back onto his forehand.
I think he'll be looking to get back. Get one around the back there. Hard to make it second shot, but get something else in the area. Desley is coming to the Gold Coast.
Good to see. Looking forward to catching you up here.
Yeah, it's a sensible home back there. He's
Carl Lim, Charlie is jumping up and down for you, Grandad. Keep up the good work, Frank. He has kept up the good work. This is a magnificent contest. Phenomenal, as I like to say.
That's the first one of the day, Val. I've been keeping a tally on those.
Now, since Clive pulled me up on it, I've actually stopped. Ooh, what's this done?
Ah, brilliant.
Made shot there. Fantastic bowl, Frank. Oh, Stephen.
Almost called him Frank.
Well, I was going to say it's a fantastic bowl, but I was going to say Frank's held on to it, but it hasn't.
Yeah.
It's rocked over just enough.
It has. So
Well, Frank's got a chance to be positive here, as he has been, because he's got the back.
And I'll tell you what, he's in the zone. He's in the zone.
That's a great effort.
It was. What's he done, though? One to blue still. One to Stephen Sale. 17-15. Next session starts in 57 minutes.
Stephen Sale's just trying to tuck this away now. If he can tuck this around the corner. Good effort here. Be up, be up. Unlucky.
Well, I still like going quick at this. There's a chance of the jack. There's a chance of getting contact. You can get a few of those light blue XGs.
Of course, we are respotting, so he's got the tee covered. Does Frank Lim? But I don't think he's too happy with it.
We just heard a big groan from him.
So now, what does Stephen Sale do? What's the option here, Nick?
Well, he's going to have a good look at this, and rightly so, because there isn't a chance to make a number. If he gets any contact on the jack back into the corner there, or back behind his deepest bowl, he could make 3. He could even make 4 if he gets the right result. If he can get his own bowl through the one at 10 o'clock, there's a chance for a 4 here.
If that front bowl goes with it and his bowl he's playing, there's a 4 on the cards here. And as I said, a little tuck towards his bowl at the middle of screen there, that would be perfect. There's not a lot of risk.
No, so long as he stays out high enough. He doesn't want to be, if he's cutting into the head there, he's a chance of some danger, but he's played it well.
It's on a good line.
It is.
Turn one over or just get through. Yeah. Oh, he's done well.
I'm not sure.
He got a little touch of the jack. That might be all that it needed to bring another 1 or 2 in. I don't know. I feel like that front one's out of it now, but it did go across that way just a fraction.
2. We are level again.
That's magnificent. We said about Frank at a couple of ends ago, and he basically had 4 around the kitty and just done that then. Stephen's done the same. Frank's had 1 there just to annoy him, cut him out of the count for 4.
Well, that one that was in there too, it was locked in. If he played with weight, it couldn't go, and Frank had a lot at the back, so the opportunity wasn't there. But Stephen Sale, he's once again shown his calibre, but look at he's changed it. He's changed it. When he had the mat before, he was taking it all the way back to the tee. He's now moved the mat up, and this would be only 24 metres or so thereabouts.
This is a confident move here. He must be very positive about getting a result here. But he's brought it right up, Nick.
This has been the contest of the Australian Open so far. Nothing has split them. Nick Hines so bravely called a 20-all result, like Stephen Sale had in his last match. Frank Lim looking to go 2-0 in his section.
And good start there from Stephen. It's in Frank's eye line looking at the jack.
Well, I mean, one of the most important things when you do change the length as much as this has been changed is you can't lose your first bowl. And players on greens with a good surface, good speed, they do it so easily. But both these players have
look at this, mate.
Got the capability.
Frank Lim. So, Frank Lim plays Corey Hicks next. Corey Hicks drew with Stephen Sale in the opening match, 20 apiece. Corey has defeated Michael Daly of the Dandenong Club in Victoria, 21-13, to move provisionally to the top of the ladder in section 215. Frank can go past him with a win. Stephen Sale can tie him on points with a win. Will go behind on score difference. But this section is heating up beautifully. Time, well, we'll see that soon. Under 22 minutes to go. We should get there. But who knows? We still could have another 8 ends left.
Well, they have slowed down too. Both players are playing a lot more deliberately now. There's a bit more time between bowls. There's been a few more visits to the head.
Frank Liam needs to get around. Or won't do so. Needed that to get around.
Yeah, you're right, Nick. They've definitely changed the pace of the game. I think the tactics have come out a little bit, which is a good thing. Unfortunately, Stephen lost his last bowl, his second bowl into the ditch. He's on a good line here, though.
Well, he sure is. Is he going to promote his own? Stephen Sale. Ooh, fell out, though.
Not quite.
One to Frank still.
He's got to be a bit careful here, though, too, because either of those can be promoted in. I think he's going to stay on the forehand. It's a little bit safer out there for him.
Oh, he's changed the back. I thought he was going to come forehand.
Is he going to try and sit this bowl? Maybe knock it away.
The worry is it's in front of the jack.
This is tight.
Yeah, I'd be playing forehand there for sure.
He does not want to hit Stephen Sale's bowl. He doesn't want to hit it. Oh, no.
No damage.
I think.
No damage, yeah.
Well, Stephen's going to go and have a look at this. I don't think there's any damage. What it does do, though, is it makes, for Stephen, getting down to his own bowl on the forehand a little bit harder. It is a little bit protected there, and if you're playing with the weight to get under, between the two dark blues at the front, I don't think you'll be able to keep the light blue bowl in the count. I think he's got to play backhand now. It's
a risk they're playing forehand because he has to play a bigger weight than draw. But you're right, I think, and he draws slightly inside the jack. He could pick up a 3 here if he sits a little bit of swinging weight, but this stage of the game, I probably think he's just looking to get one shot, not the 3. Backhand it is, Nick.
Risk and reward become a lot more important when you're both on 17 shots, you know. And if it's end one of the game, you can maybe take a risk in this position. But when it's 17 all, how much are you willing to risk?
No, he's gone. He's not happy with that at all. He's turned the back.
So this is going to be 1 to Frank Lim, barring catastrophe. We've got under 20 minutes to go. I reckon let's leave that up.
He might not even play this bowl.
I was going to say, Frank's walking past, won't give him too many hints, but is this the occasion that you just say, no, let's go, I'll take my bowl, I'll pick it up, I'll take the 1?
The way the head's situated, I think he can still get in there.
Yeah.
But he'll throw it out pretty wide. Whichever hand he comes, he'll throw it out pretty wide. It'll be a very conservative line. He's playing the forehand, and he's probably playing that way because of the wind.
Yeah, it has picked up a little bit, that breeze off the water.
The backhand's been coming this way. It's quite direct. We've got an easterly blowing now.
So he's gone on the forehand.
He's wide, Nick.
Conservative line.
Yep.
But is it going to get back? Is it going to get back?
Absolute gem. Has he made it?
He's very close. If he's made this, that is a wonderful bowl. It was wonderful anyway, but even more so. 1 kicked away, so it is 1. Frank Lim will regain the lead. They're going to measure.
Body language of Stephen Sale, I think he's reluctant to measure this because I don't know that he's going to win it. And I profess to be a body language expert. I'll just say that right now.
I'm just looking at Stephen Sale's measurer here. He's definitely he's got the fashion statement there with the yellow measurer, with the yellow hat and the Helensvale green and yellow. I'm liking it.
So,
We might see an umpire called here. That's close. That's real. He's having another go. We might well see an umpire called.
Just to add to the drama, so we know this is one. This is for second shot. So whether it's only one or whether it's a 2 to Frank Lim, we're not sure.
But if we call an umpire, that's going to take up at least another 60 seconds, 90 seconds.
More.
You know, all this eats into the potential game time.
What have we got? 2 to Frank Lim. He leads 19-17 and is 2 away from victory before his showdown with Corey Hicks. That means the winner of that one, if Frank Lim is to hold on here, the winner of that clash will go through to the knockout stage.
And Frank's put it back fairly close to the tee here, confident length. It's just a bit over 3/4. He's going to start up on his backhand here and needs to reach with his first bowl.
Val Furbo, Kyle Langley and Nick Hine joining you on Ringside Live for Apia. Proud to support the event volunteers and officials. What a game we have witnessed here.
Leslie Ryder saying that we should add an extra hour to the game. Well, I'd love to watch these two play for another hour. Sadly, though,
I am hungry.
with so many players here. How many sections in the men's singles?
303. And Frank Lim.
We have to keep to a schedule.
Yep. Look at that bowl. His grandkids must be jumping out of their skin right now. I think it was little Charlie.
And no offence to any bowlers out there, I'm just so glad we're not playing up to 31 up.
So, what has Stephen Sale got? That would have been a demoralising end for him, and he's going to go past. Good home. Needs it to stay up. Does. Game of the tournament so far on Ringside Live. The first one was a beauty between Will Sharkey and Tom Taiaroa. That was 21-20. This one, 9-3 down, Frank Lim was. 9-3.
Sensational. Frank Lim, well played.
Holding game. Still plenty to go in this end.
Whatever the result, I can see a ticker tape parade back in... I can't even say it anymore.
Laurel Bark.
That's what I said. They'll be in the streets waving placards. Go Frank. This is fantastic.
It is. What has Stephen got? Needs it to get around. It won't. So here's a chance for Frank Lim to put one hand on the finish line.
He'll be swapping hands here.
To put one limb over the finish line.
He'll be swapping hands here. He's got to defend this now because there is a chance for a big number if Stephen Sale decides to get aggressive.
Stephen's also in the checkout zone.
Is he looking just a metre past here, Nick? I think he needs to just cover those back two, doesn't he?
Well, you only need two. There's no value putting another one in there.
And he's staying on?
Yep.
Handy.
Yeah, no value getting another one in there to fatten it up. Put a bowl out the back there. Make Stephen Sale play a really brilliant shot if he's going to get a big number.
It's on the way. He's on the forehand. His line looks good.
It does.
How's the pace?
He might be a bit quick again. If he can sit his own bowl. Okay.
Now, Frank's playing backhand. Frank wants to come out of these back two bowls for sure. That's his bowl.
Correct. There's a 4 available potentially for Stephen Sale. Wouldn't that be a result?
Ooh.
It would typify how good this match has been to end like that. Now, is he up here?
Just needs to be a metre past. Sit in those light blue bowls. He's going to draw a third. Oh, makes it so interesting now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Will Stephen come and have a look, or he's just going to let it go? I'm thinking backhand. Make connection.
Looks to be the way he's...
Is this it? It's on its way. Stephen Sale. Can he save this contest? He might be underneath.
Game, set, match.
He is. And Frank Lim with a sensational performance gets the job done. Was behind for the majority of the contest, but when it mattered most, he took the lead and never looked back. Those limbs will move to 2-0, and he'll take on Corey Hicks for a place in the knockout stages after this. Corey Hicks won his match against Frank Daly. And, well, guys, that was absolutely brilliant. We're going to go because we're going to go grab some lunch before the third session, which starts at 2:30. So in 45 minutes' time, 43 minutes' time, like the Bowls Australia page and turn your notifications on. That's when you'll know that we go live. Kyle Langley and Nick Hine, thank you very much.
Thank you, Val.
Thank you, Val.
Val Febo, my name, and this has been the Australian Open Session 2 of Day 3, proudly presented by Apia, who is proud to support the event, volunteers and officials, and also thanks to Australia's Gold Coast and Tourism and Events Queensland. We'll catch you in 40 minutes' time.